next to.
Okay, so I don't have to, just in case I randomly come. And there's no children's reservation.
They can double check it.
Thank you.
Shannon, here's scissor. Oh.
Smart idea.
Good morning, Birmingham Unitarian Church. Good morning. Welcome to all, whether you're visiting us for the first time or have been here many times before. Whether you're joining us here in the sanctuary, remotely via Zoom, or watching this recording later, it's good to connect with you. Children will be with us in the sanctuary throughout our service today for our multi-generational flower celebration and recognition of volunteers. Care is also available in our nursery on the lower level for infants and children through age 5. Unfortunately, the family room is not available today. By greeting our virtual neighbors, we build a bridge between online and in-person participants. First, we'll project on our screen the image of folks who are with us on Zoom, and if you're comfortable doing so, please turn on your cameras and give us a wave. Hi. Now, we who are gathered here in the sanctuary are invited to turn and face the camera in the back and give the folks on Zoom a wave. Coffee and conversation will follow the service today in Hodis Hall, which is located to the left as you exit the sanctuary. Today, we're going to be celebrating all of our summer birthdays. So if your birthday is in June, July, or August, you're welcome to come up for our birthday time and song. This is our last community birthday celebration for the year, so we're celebrating all those who are going to have birthdays in the summer coming up. And our newcomer table is a place where visitors and newcomers can meet and chat with members of the congregation and with each other. All are encouraged to drop by, just look for the colorful sign. And there'll be an opportunity for a virtual coffee hour on Zoom after the service. Wherever, however, and whenever we connect with BUC, we are building this beloved community.
Within the Heart of the Flower by Amy Zucker Morgenstern. Within the heart of the flower, the fountain of beauty, within the heart of the community, a fire that warms and dances, within the heart of each of us, a spark of the spirit of life.
Please rise in body or in spirit and join in singing Gather the Spirit, hymn number 347.
Once more.
We come in a variety of colors, shapes, and sizes. Some of us grow in bunches. Some of us grow alone. Some of us are cupped inward, and some of us spread ourselves out wide. Some of us are old and dried and tougher than we appear. Some of us are still in bud. Some of us grow low to the ground, and some of us stretch toward the sun. Some of us feel like weeds sometimes. Some of us carry seeds sometimes. Some of us are prickly sometimes. Some of us have a lovely aroma. And all of us are beautiful. What a bouquet of people we are.
The Unitarian Universalist Flower Communion service that we celebrate in our own way today was begun by Reverend Norbert Čapek in Czechoslovakia in 1923, over 100 years ago. Have you visited Čapekowitz here on the BUC campus, which honors the legacy of Norbert Čapek and his wife Maya? Having learned about Unitarianism during a stay in the United States, Norbert and Maya began a Unitarian church in Prague when they returned to their home. Many of the people there had rejected churches that they belonged to before, and many rejected rituals or celebrations that reminded them of those other churches. So the church and its services were very plain and simple. But Čapek felt the need for a ritual that would be meaningful to the people and would be uniquely Unitarian. So he developed the Flower Communion service as a celebration of beauty, freedom, and humanity. Čapek wrote this explanation for the celebration. We have chosen flowers, nature's most tender, common, and beautiful gift, as our symbol and sacrament. A flower is divine. You cannot create it, whatever effort you make. You can create only a dead forgery without fragrance and life, nothing more. Each of us is symbolized as a flower. Flowers together in a vase symbolize fellowship and our commonality. The way we each put our own flowers into the vase symbolizes that we join in community voluntarily, of our own free will. Čapek instructed his church members, in peace and in without rush, each of you take a blossom out of the bunch of flowers without choosing, as a sign that you do not pick who you want to accept as your sibling. He said, we strive to create an atmosphere that is positive to spiritual growth. Any who would come for different purpose would feel that this place is not their home. In a little while, all of us, who all come for positive purpose of spiritual growth in religious community, will come forward to take a flower, symbolizing the gifts we bring and the gifts we take away from this community.
The Little Lessons from Flowers by Allison Stoutland.
Thank you. Even better.
The crocus taught me to lead by example. Daffodils taught me that winter will always melt into spring. Tulips taught me that lots of colors make the world more beautiful. Buttercups taught me how wonderful it is to help others shine. Lilacs taught me to take a deep breath. Forget-me-nots taught me to remember others. Sunflowers taught me to be proud of what makes me unique. Hollyhocks taught me that everyone can use a little support now and then. Roses taught me how to handle with care. Daisies taught me sometimes they love me, sometimes they won't.
A little slower.
Okay, Daddy. Pansies taught me that smile is contagious. Chrysanthemums taught me that summer will always settle into fall. My garden taught me that we can all live together.
Okay.
The mission of Birmingham Unitarian Church includes action toward positive change in the world. One way we live into our mission is by giving half of our weekly offering to a nonprofit organization that shares our values and addresses needs in the community. To suggest a nonprofit for this donation, please check the BUC website under Justice to find the application form. Our shared offering recipient from June 7th through July 12th, Ruth Ellis Center, is dedicated to supporting LGBTQ+ youth with tailored programs and services. We'll see a video now.
My name is Mark Irwin. I use he, him, and his pronouns, and I'm the executive director at Ruth Ellis Center. Ruth Ellis Center began back in 1999 in direct response to a 15-year-old young person who was experiencing homelessness due to family rejection based on his sexual orientation. And at that time, there were literally no resources in the city of Detroit for LGBTQ youth experiencing this level of family rejection and homelessness. And so the idea of Ruth Ellis Center, and then of course Claremont Center, really is an idea that has been growing over the last 23 years. Now, for the very first time, the city of Detroit's housing continuum has a specific location that is tailored to the needs of LGBTQ+ young people. And actually, very few housing continuums in cities across the United States have facilities like this. It really is a gem for not just the city of Detroit and the state of Michigan, but for the nation. It serves as an example of how we can address the disproportionate number of LGBTQ young people experiencing homelessness. Ruth Ellis Center in itself has a continuum of supportive services. It is the combination of these services that ensure LGBTQ+ young people really can envision a world that is entirely theirs, a world that they get to pursue whatever it is that they want to pursue. And that truly is the mission of Ruth Ellis Center, creating opportunities with LGBTQ+ young people to build their vision for a positive future.
We'll now receive this morning's offering, given and received in a spirit of generosity and gratitude, and dedicated to the good work of the Ruth Ellis Center and this congregation.
another story for you today. And this comes from Pam Fong, and this is Rue and the Great Race. There came a time when flowers could no longer be found. When the city started to grow and the power people collected all the remaining flowers and kept them for themselves. Rue's grandmother remembered the days when it was different. Every night, Grandma talked about flowers. Her voice changed whenever she recalled their sweet smell. Each year, the power people shared a single plant with the whole city, and everyone waited for it to bloom. And when it did, they announced the date of the Great Race. All the children were invited to run, but only the fastest to reach the flower would get to keep it. This year, I will enter the race, thought Rue, and I know I can win. Rue thought of nothing else, day and night, but winning the race. And the look on Grandma's face when she surprised her with the flower. At last, it was the big day. Ready, set, go. Oh no, what's going on? I didn't even get to see the flower, thought Rue. But what's this? She digs up what is left of the flower, the roots. The next year, Rue decided not to run in the Great Race. Instead, she stayed home to help Grandma with her new garden. Welcome to the annual Great Share.
Flower Communion by Lynn Unger. What a gathering. The purple tongues of iris licking out at spikes of lupin, the orange crepe skirts of poppies lifting over buttercup and daisy. Who can be grim in the face of such abundance? There is nothing to compare, no need for beauty to compete. The voluptuous rhododendron and the plain grass are equally filled with themselves, equally declare the miracles of color and form. This is what community looks like. This vibrant jostle, stem by stem, declaring the marvelous joining. This is the face of communion, the incarnation once more, gracefully resurrected from winter. Hold these things together in your sight. Purple, crimson, magenta, blue. You will be feasting on this long after the flowers are gone. We hold each other in our hearts and minds with all our joys and all our sorrows. The joys and sorrows of the congregation that are shared with us this morning are these. From Betty Moen, newborn Sloan Sancerre's family appreciates prayers for best outcomes. Pat Butkowitz shares the joy of being part of this community. She says, thank you to everyone for your support during my recent surgery and recovery. From the happy healing vibes to meals and cards, you helped me make it through. And by the way, She says, I am considered surgically cured. Yay. Congrats to Jan Devereaux. Yes, can you stop me echoing? Congrats to Jan Devereaux and Mary Masson, new co-leads of the Alliance. A sorrow or a joy, the Department of Defense has removed Unitarian Universalists from officially recognized religions for the armed services. Carol Wiseman chairs the scholarship committee of the Women's Garden Club, where they earn $2,000 for their scholarship fund. From Amanda Haubold, thank you to Mary and all those you helped and gathered together for the Living the Pledge alumni gathering. It was a beautiful evening and a nice refill to my humanity cup. From Mary Hoffmeyer, I had to say goodbye to my sweet 17-year-old cat Ernie last week. I thought 20-year-old Dodger would go first, but he's still feisty. Crystal Berner and John Geisler and Finley found a new home in San Marcos, Texas, which is a joy and a sorrow. And from Betty Moen, Brian Johnson is at home in hospice care. Thank you for holding him in your thoughts and prayers. And Ed Sharples is with his family this weekend, attending the wedding of his grandson, and plans to be back in church next Sunday. Ed entered hospice care this week. We remember those experiencing losses and those facing health challenges. We pray in whatever way we pray for all those affected by war, by hatred and violence. We pray for peace. Even when the cares of the world weigh on us, may we find joy in our connections with each other and in the pleasures that life holds. Let us take care of one another and ourselves in all the ways we can. Let us make this a safe and welcoming place for all. As we hold each other in our hearts and minds with all our joys and all our sorrows, whether spoken or unspoken, let's take a moment to be quiet together. Please join in singing Find a Stillness. I'd like to ask Shannon and Sarah to join me. We'll take turns recognizing some volunteers, and I keep thinking of more to add to the list. Sarah brought her own list, but apparently she kept thinking of things too. So I'm going to, pencil will at least remind me to add at least one. As part of this church, you give and receive encouragement, strength, and inspiration together, giving your time, talent, energy, and passion in visible and sometimes invisible ways, in ways that are sometimes recognized and sometimes unrecognized. We take time now to recognize some of the ways you support this church and each other. If you're not sure whether your particular contribution counts, please know that it does. If you've served this church as a volunteer this year in any of the following ways, please rise or raise your hand. And let's reserve our applause for the end. If you haven't yet, found a volunteer role that works for you, or would like to do more in case you're not already doing enough, please talk to Sarah or Shannon or to me, and we'll be delighted to help you find a way. Please rise or raise your hand if you have volunteered in any of these ways: provided instrumental music for a service, played an instrument or sung backup for the sound messengers, sung along with the sound messengers, sung in the BUC Chalice Choir, been a song leader for a service, served on the music team, helped organize the choir library. Have you served as a worship associate? Have you helped lead a worship service as a volunteer? Have you served as an usher? Have you helped decorate the sanctuary?
Please rise or raise your hand if you have served on our welcome team. Please rise or raise your hand if you have been a Sunday morning greeter. Visited the newcomer table during coffee hour. I love that. Spoken to someone you didn't already know before, during, or after service. Thank you. Been a Zoom host. Served as Sunday flower coordinator. Brought flowers for chancel flowers for a service. Or flowers, or any flowers. Please rise or raise your hand if you have or are facilitating a small group. If you have facilitated Living by Heart. If you have been involved with the Family UU Network. If you've helped organize or participated in the Alliance. Yes. If you've organized a social event. If you have organized or volunteer or helped coordinate the one table, many players game group. How about the craft and chat group? If you have organized or brought food for one of our holiday potlucks this year. If you have been involved in sharing dinners, either as a coordinator or a host. If you've helped out in the kitchen with coffee hours, cleanup, dishwashing. If you have helped out with laundering our tablecloths in Hodis Hall. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Yes, there she is. I think that's all for me. Let me make sure. Oh, if you coordinated or helped out with our auction this year. Oh, it's coming. Okay. Well, you get 2 recognitions.
All right, stand or raise your hand if you facilitated programming for the K through 5th grade group. What about our 6th through 8th grade group? Yes. Raise your hand or stand if you have served as an advisor working with the high school youth group known as Goosh. If you've served as a coming-of-age advisor or facilitator. You contributed your knowledge and or your presence in the Detroit UU Heritage Experience for coming of age, which included tours of BUC, Yamasaki Architecture, the Second Baptist Church, and Viola Liuzzo Park. If you served as a member of the religious education team. If you brought in ingredients or supplies for the bakerspace. If you participated in the no rehearsal winter pageant and any other skits or readings during multi-generational services. Please rise or raise your hand if you helped to welcome new families into the BUC community.
Have you organized or participated in a social and economic justice or UUs for Justice in the Middle East activity? Have you helped take care of the church property on the building and grounds team? Or with gardening and grounds cleanup yesterday or some other time? Have you cleaned up a mess, whether or not you are the one who made it? Have you helped in the office with filing or organizing? Have you served as an elected leader of the church on the board of trustees or on the nominating committee? Have you helped raise money for the church on the revenue committee, on the stewardship team, on the rummage sale with organizing, donating, or purchasing items? On the auction with organizing, donating, or purchasing? And with the bake-off, organizing, donating, or purchasing? You kept track of the finances of the church on budget and finance. Have you been part of the pastoral care team? Have you been part of the Caring Network? As memorial service helper or volunteer to give a ride or take a meal to someone who needs one? Even if you haven't been called upon yet, if you signed up, it counts. Have you been part of the safety and security team? Have you been part of the bylaws and policies working group? Okay. If I can just get, have you been part of the strategic planning team? Sarah, is this a good time for yours?
If you've helped out with church communications or social media.
If you've raised your hand for anything this morning, or if you volunteered for something we forgot to mention, or you might possibly consider volunteering for something in the future, please rise. Look around at each other and repeat after me. We appreciate each other. We appreciate each other. I think this is a good time for applause. There are so many volunteers and super volunteers who step up to do what is needed to help make this church work. This morning, I want to mention 2 super volunteers by name. And I have not seen either one of these in the room, but perhaps they're on Zoom, or perhaps they'll watch the recording later and know how appreciated they are. Now, Kathy Duhame has served as volunteer bookkeeper for 2 years, which has been a big job on a regular basis. And Randy Safford, who provided legal guidance for the Birmingham Bloomfield Preschool Agreement, for the BUC bylaws, and the ministerial agreement with your next minister. Your congregation appreciates all of you. There. These words are adapted from Norbert Chopek's original flower celebration service. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask blessing on these flowers, messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us, amid diversities of knowledge and of gifts, to be one in unity with the Spirit of life. May they also remind us of the value of community, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish friendship as a precious gift. May we be encouraged by awareness of each other's talents and our own. And may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do the work of the world. And now we invite you to come forward up the center aisle to take a flower and then return to your seat down the sides. We are blessed by the beauty and diversity of these flowers, just as we are blessed by the beauty and diversity of this congregation of people. These flowers are messengers of fellowship and of love. Now I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and join in singing For the Earth Forever Turning, hymn number 163.
The Blooming Season by Elizabeth Strong. The blooming season is short. The flowers stay only a brief time. We are travelers upon the earth, travelers through all too brief lifetimes. Therefore, let our moments be bountiful.
And may we live our lives fully and creatively so that we may be a blessing to ourselves, to each other, and to all those whose lives we touch. Please remain seated during the postlude.